All right, I think we are good to start. I
Yeah, we're
think we are
excited
good
for
to
it.
start. Okay, let me get all my screens minimized and get my headset on, and we will dive right into this awesome AMA. Welcome, everybody, to another Tomb Raider AMA. Today, our guest is Dex Finance, and we're here with the CEO, Dex Finance CEO, in an exclusive AMA here on Tomb Raiders, talking about a very interesting project, maybe something like you have not seen before. I don't know whether to call this a DAO or a money market fork, but we will talk about what to call it in just a moment. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. My name is Jake, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. We're real excited to bring this new project to you.
Awesome. Well, we like to start with some familiarization with your team. I know that you're here exclusively by yourself, but since you have your finger in every pie that is a part of Dex, why don't you tell us about the main people that are on your team? Start with yourself and then maybe describe the developers or whatever other folks that you have involved.
Yeah, of course. And I apologize. Some of the team couldn't be here today. We got them. Most of the guys chained to a desk right now, getting ready for the upcoming launch. So my name is Jake. I actually have a background in trading. I traded U.S. Treasuries for about 15 years, and then moved into web development, graphic design. We actually set up a media company. It's like a full stack media company. We do software engineering for some Fortune 1000 companies and digital marketing, photo, video, what have you, right? So that's kind of how it all kind of started. You know, we got in the DeFi space a few years back, and it just seemed like a really good fit for our organization. You know, but because we had this background in media and marketing and a great team established, you know, like I said, we were very well suited to handle this space. Myself, as well as our CTO, again, a real strong background in tech. He actually developed one of the largest startups in the U.S. right now. Our COO has a chain of businesses that helps us with operations and all the way down to our core dev team. We actually have I think six devs working on this project since we started a few months ago. Like I said, a couple of jack of all trades, two specific React guys, a couple of Solidity engineers, and then on top of that we have like in-house legal, several marketing specialists. Basically one full-time graphic design artist that helps us with our stuff, some videographer, video editor that pumps out some videos for us, and then honestly our core we have some awesome moderators, and there's about 25 guys in our team chat right now that are just killing it for us, so can't thank everyone enough for that.
That is quite a team. That is quite a team.
Sorry to bore you with that list, but you want to?
No, it's not boring. It's not boring. I'll tell you, I did a little bit of advanced work for this, and I went over to dexfinance.com. And so the first thing that struck me was it's a .com. How cool, right? So I go to dexfinance.com, and I see this website that is super interesting, like very many awesome moving parts. I see that you guys have an app that is about to launch, and on the bottom there I see as seen in, and I started tracking down these articles. So I have found articles about you guys on Bloomberg, on Business Insider, on Yahoo Finance, on NASDAQ, on MarketWatch. I mean, this is a really well spread out and very well developed project you have here. So you're not new to this game, right? I mean, there's something you already have ongoing, right?
Yeah, well, so our original flagship product, Dex IRA, launched about 8 months ago. Again, this was something new we kind of brought to the market. So yeah, we do have an established community and an established brand. And kind of going back to the team and what our background is in. We don't like to kind of half-ass anything. If we're doing it, we don't want to do a fork. We don't want to clone something. We don't really see any long-term potential in anything that's already been done before. And that goes all the way down to our branding, into everything we're putting out with our press and our media. That all trickles down. So yeah, I guess what you're referring to is, like I said, the Dex IRA platform. That's maybe some of those articles you had seen were from the original project. This was a kind of an effort to get away from the pump and dump. 8 months ago, it seemed to be just a lot of just real shit coins coming out, a lot of rugs, people just kind of pumping and dumping. We wanted to make a, quote unquote, a token for adults, right? And so we developed this Dex IRA token where it comes with a pretty steep penalty to sell, right? So it's always free, always penalty free to buy. So you can always add to your to your balance and your rewards. But to sell, it's a 30% tax, which can be waived after a 1-year holding period. Similar to the age requirements of like a traditional Roth IRA. And it's been great. A lot of our current investors in Dex IRA are kind of folks that have a real IRA in real life, and the move into the money market, some of these other new products coming out. This was kind of an effort to stick along with this new wave of crypto and offer our investors and our users kind of different financial products that they can add to their portfolio with, create long-term wealth.
Yeah, something that I noticed when I was doing a little background, first thing I did was pull up your chart on Dex IRA, the token Dex IRA. And what immediately leapt out to me was not the price. It was the fact that you've been around since like October of last year.
It's been a long run, yeah.
Yeah, so when I see that and then I follow your price chart, and what this says to me, you must have an already established community that is actively participating from Dex IRA. Are those folks going to be a part of Dex Finance, the larger project you're about to launch?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, when we set out to build the money market, I mean, obviously this is going to be for everyone, and everyone has a chance to participate in the pre-sale and get involved as early as they'd like. But our goal, one of the goals, I guess, with the pre-sale and launching this new token, the tokens, is that we wanted to kind of reward our long-standing holders, for their strength in the community. And what this is going to do is, I mean, obviously it's a nice to give back to the people that have stuck with you for 8 months and still holding, of course. But even more so, the reason why Dex IRA is still as strong as it is now is because of our community, right? So when we do this pre-sale, one of the requirements, we're actually launching our own launch pad. It's called DexPad, and one of the requirements to get involved in this, in the pre-sale, is to be a holder of Dex IRA, right? So anyone listening now, you're more than welcome. You can go out and buy Dex IRA and participate in the pre-sale. But the vast majority will be already, people that are already holding the token, the Dex IRA token, and have held. So what this is going to do is create a really strong price floor for all these for the new money market tokens, and that's going to reflect well on the protocol, as a whole.
So earlier you mentioned that 30% penalty. I like to think of it as a 30% incentive to hold. One of the real issues that we see being debated in this time has a lot to do with longevity. And so this has been around for 8 months, and there's that 30% tax. But there is a window of opportunity for long-term holders, like a traditional IRA. Does that 30%, is that forever, or is there a finite amount of time, or is there How long does
Yeah.
that 30% last for?
Yes, I mean we're not trying to have people die with their crypto, right? I mean, even you said in 30 years you're gonna start selling something, right? Everyone's got to get a Lambo at some point, right? So
Yeah.
no, and obviously crypto is like dog years, right? So rather than waiting until you're 50 or 60 to pull out your traditional IRA, we have a 1-year holding period. So after that 1-year period, you can essentially get a tax redemption. A tax waiver on that on those fees, and you go ahead and sell for no tax.
Okay, and what about earnings? So you've got your main stake. Are the earnings also taxed?
No, actually, anybody any of our holders that have been with us for more than half the project's lifespan so far, they've already made like at least 2x on just the rewards alone, on top of the obviously price action, right? So now the rewards actually, this is one of the innovations we kind of came with to the space. Essentially, that 30% deterrent tax is collected on every sell, and those rewards are automatically distributed to your wallet just for holding, right? So you don't have to do anything, you don't have to claim. You just sit back, and when the price goes up, your balance is up because of the price is up, and it's good price action. And if there are sell-offs, then you just get BNB automatically sent to your wallet. And then we actually took it a step further. You can actually visit our app for that product, and you can go ahead and select one of 20 or so selected currencies. So if you'd rather have your rewards come in XRP or ADA, ETH, Bitcoin, you can go ahead and get your rewards in that currency.
Okay, so for people who are looking to maybe sink a ton of cash into this project, they can take consistent rewards without really being taxed at all. And if they want to compound, then I imagine that they can do that.
Yeah, I would like to make that distinction too. We've seen other projects in the space, and I won't list them, but you guys are all quite familiar with what's out there. And like I said, we've seen this kind of move to like kind of pay to play to get in the pre-sale, right? And we don't want to be categorized as that, right? You're not buying XIRA just so that you can get in the pre-sale and then like that's like a worthless asset, right? This is an investment, right? So you're going to buy XIRA, you're welcome to sell afterwards, but part of the money market, which we'll get into in a second, is actually meant to bolster the price and the rewards of the DexIRA token. And even further than that, once the pre-sale is over and the money market is live, you'll actually have several opportunities to use those DexIRA tokens within the money market system. For example, bonding in with those assets or using those DexIRA assets to farm more money market tokens.
Okay. Wow. So just to rehash, so to get into the pre-sale, they're going to want to get the DexIRA token, but that has a further utility. And then I actually was just looking at one of your flowcharts on your docs. I do think we should get into the kind of the nitty gritty of the unique aspects here. I can smell that your trading background in Treasury has definitely influenced the kind of layout and the tokenomics, if you will, of this project.
Yeah, 100%. I do come from more of a traditional trading background, and I'm not poo-pooing on the Elon Dodge Moon coins, but they're just not for me, and I feel like the market is over some of that kind of hype. Our goal with all this is to create sustainable products that people can use as financial tools, right? A lot of times people say, oh, what's the use case, right? Like we don't have we're not trying to build NFTs to try to just fake a use case, right? Like the goal for us is to create financial vehicles that people can make money with and save money with and build long-term wealth. So that is the perceived use case in a lot of cases.
Okay, so walk me through this. The the protocol itself sells the DEX token, or I think it's called US DEX, right? And that's to maintain the price of your peg. And you don't do that arbitrarily. There's some kind of special sauce to how you sell. Is that right?
Yeah. So essentially, we started with the two model, right? It's an elastic supply with two corresponding tokens, right? In our case, there's the US DEX token and the DEX share token. Similar dynamics to something like Tomb, where the peg, the US DEX token is the peg. It's supposed to stay above peg. If one above peg, the people that are staking, the shares, the DEX shares in this case, are rewarded, right? The one of the big pitfalls though that we see anyway in this two model is a lot of volatility in the reward structure slash payout structure of these rewards, right? So typically the way this works, right, is you're all familiar with, you take your shares, you stake them in the boardroom, and you're paid out in the peg token. What we did is we added a third token in, right? So this is the DEX ETF token that we added to the ecosystem, which depending on how much time you have today, we can kind of get in a little bit more of that. But basically, what this ETF token is a vault. It's a basket of tokens that includes things like mostly blue chip type tokens, ADA, ETH, XRP, those kind of things. Which are allocated right now based upon our DEX IRA holders, right? Those are the tokens that they wanted. Which, side note, I guess there will be a DAO, a voting system, to be able to change those allocations if the community as a whole wants different ones, right? But back to the point. Essentially, when the boardroom prints out, when our regulation pool prints out this US DEX. This expansion period is meant so that if it's above the price of the peg, it's meant to print out all this US DEX, this peg token, in order to bring it back to the peg price, right? The problem is if all these peg tokens are going into circulation, and let's say no one sells the first epoch, no one sells the second epoch, right? And all of a sudden the third, fourth epoch, everyone sells at the same time, then you run into two problems. One, there's massive sell-offs that causes panic selling. And it's very easy to drop below peg. The other is sometimes there's like a mad race to get to be the first one to pull that out, and people don't get evenly rewarded for their same efforts staking. If I stake one DEX share and you stake one DEX share, if you sell before me, I'm going to get penalized for that. So what we've done is essentially, rather than distributing the US DEX directly to the share stakers, the expansion DEX that's coming into market goes to a separate smart contract where it's held and sold off via the contract based upon certain factors like circulating supply, treasury-backed assets, number of factors to make sure that we're only selling off what is needed to get to peg. And once they're sold off, then we're sitting on a bunch of BNB, which we convert to the ETF tokens, and then those ETF tokens then get distributed evenly to all the share stakers.
And those ETF tokens are the basket you were referring to earlier with DOT, Matic, and ETH, and XRP, and BNB, all represented inside that ETF token.
Correct. So similar to the DEX IRA token, we're trying to encourage investors to hold more cryptocurrencies and good cryptocurrencies, right? We understand not everyone's going to want to keep the ETF tokens. So once you have your ETF tokens, you can just take them over to the ETF spot in our dashboard, and you can just go and redeem those for whatever token you'd like.
Wow. Okay, that's very interesting. So maybe also this is a way to gain exposure to these other tokens for folks who maybe are not so interested in buying them individually.
It is. Honestly, we're actually really excited about the ETF. Just as on the side of everything, we think it's a really good chance for some new retail investors and people that aren't as familiar with the space to get involved. this is we have, we're going to have this DEX ETF will kind of be our flagship ETF token used for the money market, but we do have plans for expansion. We'd love to continue to put out different types of funds, things like metaverse fund tokens, or blue chips, or shitcoin funds if you want. So that's kind of that'll be the next evolution of that process.
Maybe don't call them shitcoin funds. Call them like
yeah,
super duper altcoin.
Yeah, sure.
That's funny. Okay, all right. So I'm and if I sound repetitious, it's because I'm really just trying to wrap my head around all the moving parts here. So you got the protocol that sells the US DEX, that maintains the peg. Then you get the ETF rewards. That's how people get paid. That's the basket of tokens. People will take a profit. I assume the remaining rewards are compounded back into the farm, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's you're kind of approaching on one of our other big points there.
Yeah, let's talk about the farm.
So there's multiple ways that you can farm and earn money with the money market protocol. One of our big objectives here is to kind of deter, what's typically referred to as like a mercenary farmer, or, these guys that come in for the first couple days and then just pull all their liquidity, right? So in effort to do that, we're taking some steps to discourage just direct single farms, and to do this, we've actually incentivized a new thing that we've kind of come up with. There are essentially auto-compounded multi-step strategies. So rather than just being in one peg farm or one share farm, you can go ahead and deposit your funds in with a single, like a zap-in feature, and essentially you're getting a piece of all the farms that are compounded together. So we'll take your rewards from the US DEX USDC fund farm, take those rewards and bring those over to the DEX Share BNB farm, and then compound those over to the DEX Share single asset farm. And then, as you said, once that loop takes place, we're actually going to encourage investors to set like an automatic take profit amount where they would get their ETF tokens, and then yes, the rest would just become compounded back into the protocol. So what that does is it not only is very healthy for the protocol in general, but it also makes it easier for maybe less experienced investors to get into some of these farms, and has a whole bunch of other ancillary kind of benefits to go along with that.
Yeah, I'm hearing the word automatic a lot, and so myself, I'm a bit of perhaps a more advanced investor. I do a lot of this stuff myself, right? I'm breaking stuff down, I'm building my own baskets, I'm compounding, I'm reinvesting. So I keep hearing the word automatic. It sounds like what you're trying to build here is something for like the novice to medium complexity investor to do all these more advanced things, but automate the process. Even the regulation of your peg seems automated and done so in a way that maybe your average investor is not capable of doing on their own.
100% that this is this is definitely a strong point for us, and we're trying to bring more retail investors into the space and give them the opportunity to make these kind of awesome gains that more experienced traders are making. However, at the same time, you and I both know it's not like a pleasure to do these things all the time, right? Like, I don't know about you, but in my daily work, like if I can automate a task, I'm doing it, right? So like, all the node fans out there are gonna hate me for this, but like, the first node I got into, I'm like, what? I got to go in here and like claim this stuff every day. Like, this is just too much work for me, and like I got to do this forever now. Like, we're trying to get away from that. Make him, like if you're you're not calling your guy from Charles Schwab every day saying, hey, can I reinvest my drips, please? Like, this stuff happens automatically, and there's no reason why it can't. In this age with what we're doing, the space is ripe for it, and the technology is there. So
yeah, maybe this is where DeFi 3.0 is headed.
I am a big proponent of Web3 and DeFi 3.0. Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, so I think we've almost closed the loop. The protocol is selling the US DEX. We've got the ETF rewards. We're taking profit. We're going back into the PEG farm. Now you said there were two different farms, right? You said there was a PEG farm and the other was a share farm.
Yeah, so your typical, I mean, like most Tomb Forks, there's a PEG farm and a share farm. Like I mentioned earlier, we're also going to be having a DEX IRA farm, technically, which will be done using a wrapped DEX token that we're creating. This will allow you to use your DEX IRA tokens to farm in the money market without incurring that fee. And I think it's also important to note that, that just like I said, some of the other benefits, we've kind of talked about some of the loop that we've almost made around with the money market, but, I definitely want people to understand that the DEX IRA token is definitely involved in multiple aspects of the money market, and revert in the reverse direction as well. As a DEX IRA holder, you'll be able to, set your reward currency as, one of any of the money market tokens, the ETF token, etc. So we're really trying to make an end-to-end system here where it's just kind of a web of different, functionality that really bolsters each aspect of the protocol and of the ecosystem as a whole.
Okay, and here is the part where I ask you if I've missed anything, because I do think that we've got the whole thing. And if you're just joining us, by the way, that we're on with Dex Finance, dexfinance.com, and if you head over to their website, you will see in the side menu all these little breakdowns for a dashboard, different strategies, the farms, the bond, the earnings managers, all kinds of stuff like that. And it seems like the app, you might have it ready on your end, but I don't think it's live yet, right?
No, I mean we have some of our first influencers coming out today with some videos. I guess, which is another quick point to mention. We've put so much time and effort into this that we are sparing no expense in terms of marketing. So, as an investor, that's a key component of the success of a project. So, we do have a blockbuster list of influencers and advertisements coming out. Like I said, some of which are starting today, and we gave those guys some kind of a sneak preview of dashboard. So once the first videos come out, that'll be live to the public. So we're going to go ahead and flip the switch and give everyone full access to kind of click around and get ready for the launch.
And all those links will be posted in your channel here and also on your Discord. And for those of you who are wondering where that is, we will be posting all of this after the AMA so that you can take your time and dig in, as I have, into all these different components, the long-term investment options, all the different auto compounding strategies you spoke about. And I guess you would call those other parts kind of the crypto management protocols that you have set up.
Yeah, that's correct. Like I said, we're not even stopping here. We want to make financial tools for every type of investor. And so we actually have a laundry list of things coming up down the pipeline. This is the first of many.
Okay, man, super exciting. Yeah, I know. I want to hear about your hopes and dreams for the future, but maybe keep that
next time. Next time.
Maybe we keep that for the next one. Okay. So, any other technical stuff before we go on to how to participate in this upcoming launch?
I think we covered most of it. I would maybe make one point. One of the other features that does kind of relate back to the PEG regulation and some of the integrations with DEX IRA is our use of bonding, right? So what we've done is we've actually eliminated the current bond structure from most normal Tombs forks. There's the fatal flaw, right, with the bonds and Tomb Forks, right, is if the price is below the PEG and you're buying these bonds, you get rewarded, you get paid off on those bonds once it goes over PEG, and basically this is like an option, which is super dangerous in crypto, right? You ever catch me putting options on trades, hit me. So what we've done is we've just eliminated this process completely, and instead we've replaced it with the Olympus Pro style bonds, right? So in this model, you can use other assets, right, to bond in essentially buy into the protocol and receive money market tokens for DEX IRA, DEX ETF tokens, and other stable coins, which is added to the treasury in order to collateralize or back the peg token. So it's kind of this balance between limiting the supply that we're actually putting out of US DEX and bonding in with other hard assets that allows us to buy up any potential sell-offs.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. So it's not really this is a very hybrid product. In fact, what I'm identifying so far is hybrid elements from Tomb Forks, from your kind of Olympus DAO model, and then some stuff that I recognize more from like you said, the Charles Schwab. You might get sued if you say that, but I kind of the more conventional background of like traditional financial markets that we're seeing in here. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the traditional markets don't really have anything like this. So I'm not too worried about getting sued by Charles Schwab. But yes, we've definitely taken some of the best elements from Tomb and from Olympus, as well as Balancer for our ETF, and some elements from Beefy for our auto compounder, and we've just kind of used some technologies out there and added a bunch of stuff to make it better. And this is what we came up with.
That's nice. Okay, well, just to recap, we are here with Dex Finance, DexFinance.com, and this is the Dex Finance CEO who's on with us, guiding us through what I thought would be a more complicated, but is maybe not as complicated as I thought, sort of process, and into how they are generating kind of longer term investment opportunities for those of us who are interested in that, and kind of promising a longer vision. I opened up by talking about the Dex IRA project and how long that has been around. And I got to say, that feature in itself, kind of the longevity feature, kind of called out to me. But let's talk to some of the folks who are newer in this, and they're just here to find out how they can participate. You mentioned that they need to go out and buy the Dex IRA token. Maybe we can just simply walk them through the process. If I'm brand new to Tomb Raiders, I just jumped on this AMA, I'm 25 minutes late, and all I came in here to find out is, how do I participate in the pre-sale or the sale, or maybe even the launch? What do I do first? What do I do second? Just tell me what to do, man.
Yeah, so I first of all, I would just head to DexFinance.com and just start reading some stuff. Get yourself familiarized with the protocol, kind of what we do. We have all of our social media links there. Sign up there for sure. That's where we're putting out all the announcements about stuff, relevant information. You don't necessarily have to buy the Dex IRA token. We're not trying to force anyone into a longer term investment vehicle. It's for some people. It's not for some. It is a requirement for the pre-sale. So if that's something you'd like to do, you can go ahead and find the contract address on the website under the Dex IRA tab, and it's traded on PancakeSwap. So you can go ahead and buy your Dex IRA there and get ready for the pre-sale. If not, just kind of sit back and catch all of our announcements and our media and marketing coming out. There will be a public sale on the 6th of April. The pre-sale will be 2 days before that, depending on where you'd like to get in. Like I said, the pre-sale is great. If you're interested in buying the Dex IRA and being a part of that. But part of this whole system, is really based on the fact that we feel real strongly that we can maintain the price of PEG, not only below PEG but above PEG, right? Because our protocol is designed to regulate it, to make sure it doesn't go too high, doesn't go too low. So what this does is it essentially takes most of the risk out of buying into the PEG pools. So because it's a $1 peg to USDC, another dollar, and it's intended to stay within a certain range. There's very limited risk on impermanent loss, and again, because of our peg regulation, price impact is going to be moderate no matter when you get in, right? So we'd like to encourage everyone just kind of stick around, and if you're not interested in the DEX IRA token, feel free to jump in anytime after that you like.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that part up, because I do think that is going to be, excuse me, I do think that is going to be attractive to some of the folks who maybe aren't ready to load up on DEX IRA token, just knowing that the pre-sale is not the only point of involvement. And in fact, it sounds like you're going to have a pretty active pre-sale. I will not ask you to speculate on the price action that will happen surrounding the pre-sale, but that ought to be very interesting to watch. And we will be kind of recapping all of this stuff in the main channel that they have here on Tomb Raider, and we will also be posting links to their docs and to the DEXfinance.com website. And as DEX CEO just mentioned, it sounds like they might have some videos for us to watch on the way that the app works, maybe some early access view on that. Do you have anything to add before I...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that we should also talk a bit about the use case of DEXA on the money market platform. So our users can know that DEXA is not going to be just for the pre-sale, but it's also going to have its own use case.
Yeah, of course. I think we covered a little bit of that. Maybe we have to, if anyone missed that part, we can kind of scroll back. We're actually also adding a whole section to the documentation on DEX IRA. But yeah, just quickly to recap, we like was mentioned, the DEX IRA token will be used to in the farms within the money market. Also, you'll have the option to bond into it, as well as being used in the ETF, which will bolster trading volume and ultimately rewards back on that.
Well, that was a very info-packed 45 minutes. I got to say, we covered a lot of ground, and I told you, I did a bunch of reading on this before we started, but even I am bringing away some great takeaways from this discussion. I am very eager to watch this start, but I'm also very eager to watch it run. I think one of the unique features about this project is the longevity that I expect out of it is way above what we typically see on our average Tomb fork. And your use case, as you said, is not sort of an invented use case, but more something that you can obviously see the utility in going in years down the road. And you did mention that there is the DAO element, so there will be voting for the ETFs, and there will be more things down the road that you'll speak about later and so on. Very exciting project. I thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who are just signing on, this will be recorded and posted and hopefully shared around. We've been here with DEXfinance.com. DEX IRA, DEX Finance is the new project, which has the money market, the IRA, the ETF, the DAO, the Launchpad, which I think you said was called DEXPad.
All DEX, yep.
all DEX. Man, so cool. And these guys are not leaving. They have a channel here on Tomb Raiders. They're available to ask your questions. And I think a second ago, we might have heard from one of your from Conan.
Yeah.
Was it Conan that spoke up?
Conan handles all of our moderation, our social media. Can't thank Conan enough for being a part of the team. He is always around. The kid never sleeps. I am available too, so feel free to reach out. Also one other closing points. If you do make it over to our Discord or our channel in here, we're going to be posting some information about a giveaway this evening. So if you're
let's talk about that. Let's talk about giveaways. Our guys love giveaways.
Yeah,
how does that work?
So we're this evening's giveaway. It's going to be a social impact campaign. Simple task: tweeting, liking, following, and we're going to give away about 5,000 US DEX post launch here, and with a couple bonus whitelist spots on top. So
okay, yeah, no. If you're listening, Tomb Raiders, they don't call them Tomb Raiders for nothing. They love to raid a contest. They love to rate a contest, and maybe they won't loot the contest, but they will certainly rate it. That's very cool. We always love to announce a giveaway. It's a good spot to leave us on too. If you head on over to their Discord channel, and we will post a link, or down into the Discord channel that they have here, I'm sure we'll have plenty of details on that. And well, I might actually participate in that one myself, because I think I'm going to be personally involved. Not financial advice, but I do think I will be personally involved in this one. Very, very cool stuff. And thank you so much for that really succinct and informative AMA. You really held your own. You know this stuff inside and out. I can tell a lot of love and blood, sweat, and tears went into it. So thank you again. Thank you for coming. And this has been another Tomb Raider AMA. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you have any more questions, keep them coming. Let's pick these guys' brains, and let's blow up their contest.
Well, thank you very much for having us. We appreciate all the support, and you guys have an amazing community here. So we look forward to seeing y'all very soon.
Awesome. We'll see you in the chat, man.
All right. Take care.